All right, we are back in it. We are working on the strategy role-playing game in the style of Fire Emblem. This is where I'm at right now. We can select an actor. And we have a working movement grid. It's not checking for solids yet. We will have to add that in. I don't think for this particular actor it doesn't really matter here. But for this one, we would want to block them on mountains if we're considering those solid, or we can give them a weighting, which will slow down their movement as well. That's kind of where I left off. You can see we have this mouse cursor. It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a little bit darker on the first time. It is. Then the second time, everything's back up. So I'd like to fix that bug real quick. It's probably, so we have self-modulate that we're changing. Self-modulate is fine. So what's modifying our modulate? And it's odd that it's not changing until later. So maybe I'll use the debugger for this. All right, so I'm going to pick one. We're going to take a look at the tree. And so let's look at our values here. So self-modulate, you can see it's animating. That seems fine. Our map, we're not changing anything there. We can see it's going to about 229 to 150-ish. Now when I hit this, when I pick a new one, we can see it's just so much brighter. So I want to make sure we have that. It seems like they're the same values. And I don't really see anything that calls it to be lighter. As we look at it, right, it just goes from the map to this. Let's look at that script. Maybe let's try a little bit of this. Dot play reset. Let's check the, that's the main. If I just go in here and we reset that. That did not fix it. We stop it and we play blank. Maybe, let's see if this does it. I think I have a theory. So that did fix it. So that's telling me that probably our reset is not working properly. It looks fine. Self-modulate. Self-modulate, they're both. And so if we click on this, see it's going there. On the animation, we play blank, you can see it's changing right when we do that. So maybe just when we reset, we just do white. Curious if that fixes it. just trying to figure out the logic. That does seem to fix it, but now it seems so bright. Yeah, it's brighter the first time we call that. Why? This makes no sense to me. Very, very confusing. So we're just going to go back to this. I don't understand it, but that seems to be the effect that we want. Yeah. It does seem a little too bright now. So maybe we just bring this guy down a bit. That's a bit better. Okay, so I think I want to work on moving these entities. So actor is going to need a new method. We're not doing this movement in the actor anymore. At least we're not getting input. Probably keep that. Change this up. Get rid of that. We're not getting movement anymore. Not doing any of that. Pixel target. I'm not too worried about this stuff right now. I think we're going to do a variation of that. So let's update this. Cells in range. We don't need this stuff anymore. Position target. Cells traveled. That's fine. Ready. Position target. That's fine. Process should also be this. Okay. So select, move. Move. Init move on path. Path is going to be an array of, I think, just vector 2. I don't really care about typing that right now. So the path is going to be an array, and we're going to have to store that. And this will be cells. Path equals cells. And position target. Up front, and we have to multiply that by alternatively, we could just get the movement as positions, but that's fine. So we do that. That should begin us moving. If we're there, we want to advance to the next cell. Be like function. if cells, then so if cells, we do that. Cells is not, so it'd be path. We can modify this later. And up here we want to do move next path cell. And so what we have to do is send that data from the movement handler to the current actor. Let's look at where we can handle that. So right now, this is just when we're moving the cursor. When we click, grid cursor pressed. Maybe we just let this thing handle that. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about having the grid cursor handle the pressed inputs. We could just do that in the in an input function. We'll come back to that. So probably up here, yeah. Event is and event pressed and event button index equals on mouse. I don't know, maybe it is nice having the grid cursor handle that because it's kind of repetitive to type that out every time. So we will just use that function. Grid cursor moved is already connected to movement area. All we have to do is this. Copy that. And put that up here. Does this take any arguments? What does it have, the position? Yeah. Generally, when I'm working on a video, when I'm in the middle of a project like this, the video tends to start out a little bit slow as I kind of collect my bearings. So, just forewarning. To convert pixel position to cell, we just divide by cell size. And once we have that cell, we can get the path, which I don't even know if we know because we're setting cells traveled here, which maybe cells traveled is not correct anymore. I'm going to call this path. And we'll do that, and then we check if cell is in path. Then we want to give, we need to send the path out. And it needs to go to the actor. So what we can do is movement area. Path chosen, leave path array, and then down here, path chosen.init, to be with path. And then I think we want to probably reset everything. Maybe not right away. We'll come back to that. So we're sending that up. We can connect that to world, which will then send it down to our selected actor. Which tells me we're going to need selected actor. Set selected, and we're kind of doing the same thing here. So we just put that in. And take that. So that simplifies that. Looks like we also have to do that. And so now we just do selected actor equals highlighted actor. And down here it's going to be selected actor, something where we give them the path, which is init. Let's just call this init path. And then go back to world, and we do selected actor dot init path. So we'll give that a whirl. Oop. It's not working. We're not receiving that input. So it seems. Let's see if we are getting. Yes. It's easier for me than checking the debugger right now. All right, so we are getting it. We're getting an error. Vector 2, okay, that could be a problem. Let's give that a whirl. Oh, and it's breaking. Can I make position target of vector 2i? I don't know. I don't really understand the conversion here, why it keeps happening, but we'll just do that for now. So they're valid. They're not getting the path though. Position target. Probably need like a clear. No, I can't use that because that's built in. Just call it reset. Path.clear. So all of these, also, I know I don't need this anymore. Pretty sure. Maybe I'll keep it for now. So this resetting code, we're going to put up here. Path clear, movement arrow clear, and then we can call reset at the top of this. And I think we also need to call it here. Yeah, we're not getting our arrow now. Let's just try returning. See if that code's breaking something. Yeah, I think we need to check here. I think it's the timing. That maybe this stuff is happening first. I think that's fine. Then we just want to do this. It should be easy enough. Yes. Okay, so it's closing, but then we can't. Oh, can't moved. It's not moving how we want. To do that. So that's in the wrong area. If not selected actor or path is empty. We just make selected actor false. No, they're still moving. I think it's because we're bouncing around these signals too much. We could try the await in here. Dude, what? So the path is getting him, it's valid. Path chosen dot emit. Selected actor should be getting that. You know what I think the problem is, and I thought about this before, so maybe it has to be duplicated. That was the problem. Beautiful. All right. Get rid of that. Just out of curiosity, let me see if I can get rid of that line. All right. Cool. Okay. Then here, if path, else equals, no, I just want to make them grayscale. Let me see if I have that shader. Don't. It's not ideal to grab it for Godot 3. Let's see. It shouldn't be too much different. I'll try this one. Actually, let's just put it on actor. Shader. Let's do utility slash shaders slash that. Beautiful. It's good. It's great. I think it's because that texture is white. Well, instead of that, since we're just using debug stuff right now, debug shapes, we're going to give them a, we don't even need to make it, it's already built in. So, that should be fine. I don't know why it's taking so long. Yeah, it did not work. Oh, because I said it. Weird. I think it's because their tools. We close that. Let's look at world. Close world. Clean that up. Right, it's doing this every frame. And yeah. So they gray out. We also need to check if they've moved. And if moved. By using active. Oh. That seems fine. Let's get rid of this. So now we should be able to move once. See, I can't even select them, which is perfect. We can still highlight them to get their data. Also, it looks like I need to clear out that. I'll worry about that after I handle their options. Also, this can be if not friendly or moved, then we can't select them. Is friendly, I'm just going to change to friendly. Hopefully it doesn't break my world. Equals false. Let's try reopening world. These first three, I know are friendly. So that updates them. Just make sure world still works. Cool. It's letting me select them. We don't want that. The first time's okay. Yeah, it's letting me click on them. Look at world. If there's a highlighted actor, let's do this. Then could do. Could just do that. I don't think we need any of these. Unless I want to get rid of that. Whatever. Let's try that. No, it feels kind of broken now. Let's just go back to how we had it. Let's just keep it simple. Return false. And we return true. Maybe either way. We could just return 1. What? Like everything keeps breaking. So that's fine. Try that. Interesting. So if they move onto their own position, it breaks. We need to make sure they can't do that. Let's try if path.size greater. Then on actor, maybe we do need active. We'll call it selected. Just telling me I probably need a state machine. It's just getting a little bit too unwieldy. So idle. Idle. Active. Moved. Active. Something like that. And then we need our state. Equal states dot idle. We get rid of moved and selected. Anytime you start seeing yourself having all these different booleans for the state of that entity, you probably just want to make it into a state machine. So now we can do state not equal. So if we're not idling, excuse me, then we want to make sure false. Actually, if not friendly, we return false because we can't select a non-friendly. And then we want if on or we could just match the state. Let's see what that looks like. The state's not idle. If on, we do that. Equal states dot active. Maybe change this to selected. Keep it uniform. This would be states dot moved down here we have state equals states dot moving. Selected, moving, moved. And instead of setting process, we can just do if state equals states dot, or better yet, we can initialize the state machine effectively. Do like states dot moving. Let me just bump that over. We can add other cases as we find them. So now we don't have to mess with process. It'll just be always happening. I think that's okay. We can get rid of that. And select. So if we're not friendly, we can't do anything. We return false. If we are idling, then we do that. If we are selected, then if off or if not on, then state equals states dot idle. And I don't know, do we need that Boolean check anymore? This needs to be changed. Not and we do that. Then we can get rid of this. So we keep that Boolean check. I keep doing that. Save it, go back to our actor. So if you're selected and you're idle, that's good. If we're not on, we make it down there, it's false. So if not on, we're turning it off, we idle. We need to I think have another signal for this, like deselected. Maybe just send out the actor. And down here, and up here, we do the same thing. Let's do that. Put that into movement area. And I think it'd be if selected actor equals actor selected equals null. And we want to reset, which tells me we should just throw that in there. All right. So I'm going to pick a different actor. Okay, it's not working. We'll come back to that. So you're deselected. I think when they are done moving, we want to emit which it seems like we're already doing in the movement area, but the GUI needs to get that. Good, and then I can't pick them. Obviously, I'll have to change that for when so not just after their path is chosen, but after they are deselected. And I think ultimately what I need to happen is that the world probably takes these connections and then passes them down. I think that's a safer way to move forward. I'm going to do that. Oops. Save that. Instead of this, we're going to just do this in here. I think that's the play. And AStarGrid. Let's screw it if. Now we can do it like that. So this is just connecting to self. I have this in the wrong node. Not a big deal. Make sure everything still works. Looks good. Then the same thing here. Just combine these. I wonder if it's okay if I don't emit these. We'll figure it out. Selected should be okay. Save that. Go to world. Make actor selected a thing. I don't know, I'm kind of getting a little lost. I might need to rethink the structure here. I don't like all this signal bouncing around crap. So it's going to be an actor selected. And so I'll just rename that and movement range. So you're just going to pass these through. Update update movement range. Okay, we do that. Let's just see what the game looks like with those changes. I'd be surprised if it works. That's a quick fix. Holy shit. Okay. I think we can modify this. So it's a little bit clearer. Cool. Weird, so we're not getting that. Oh, if selected. That's weird. Up here. See what's going on. It's not getting that signal. I think I do have to send out all of those. Yeah. It's not deselecting. Okay, I take it back. We're going the separate route. Up here. Like that. Get rid of this. Kind of had a long day yesterday, so I feel like I'm just a little bit fried. So we don't really need. Well, actually, we can do if actor, if selected, actor, just as a failsafe. And so get rid of selected. We save that. We update that down here as well, which I think we can just undo. Yeah. Let's see if everything works. The good news is, like, once I get this set up, it should be pretty smooth sailing. It's just so important to keep track of the timing of these events, because if they get out of whack, I mean, your whole program's kind of jacked up. So, and then later on, if we need to modify the timing, we know, when these things are happening, so it should be pretty easy. All right, so we have entities that move. We haven't begun to calculate the enemies. They're gonna, right? That's a whole thing of its own. Enemy AI. But I think what we probably want to do is, like, if I move them there, we need the menu. We need the menu regardless of what happens. But then if someone's in range, we show the attack. So let's try drawing the attack range. And we also need to not moved, acted. Okay. Instead of deselecting here, we're going to deselect here. We'll probably have to modify some of this, but I might even make it like, I think that might be fine there. If not on, we deselect. Something like that. Hide the grid cursor for now. Or not, it's fine. We don't need to show its collision though. All right, let me run it one more time. I just want to see it's an action. So we move there. Notice they're not getting deselected. We still want to show them as active. So I don't think they quite get grayed out there. Like finish churn. Maybe. And we can do could just do that. Or we know it. So we get there, and I think we need to emit up and say, hey, we need help, we need a menu, or we could have the menu on the actor. But then that's a little bit inefficient because we'd have a menu on every actor, or we could have them instance the menu every time they need it, which that's certainly a possibility. So maybe we'll try that. And that way the actor can spawn that, and then they can emit up, whatever option happens, something like that. And so if they pick attack, we have to pick a target, which means we have to communicate with the world. So I don't know. I don't know who should have the menu. Maybe the actor shouldn't care about the menu. Maybe the GUI has a kind of floating panel container. Let's see what that looks like. But I think with the margin container, it's going to mess with the position of it. Let's see what, like if we center this, I can't move this around, right? Because margin container is a container. So if we put the panel container just on the GUI, then we have control of our panel container. I'm going to call this like battle menu, maybe, sure. And I don't think we have to mess with the size. We're just going to throw some content. So it's going to be a V-box. There's going to be a few buttons. So we have like fight and typical use item. We could have pass. And maybe that's it for now. We could maybe have equip. Equip could be good. Let's put equip here. And pass. For now, I'm going to disable these two to indicate that we can only fight or pass. And just for a little bit of readability, I'm going to name these as well. Battle menu. So the battle menu is going to move around. First off, let me unify those. It's going to move around to whatever, next to the tile that we're working on, or something like that. I want this one. We just need more references. I might keep that, bookmark that for now. That's fine. Check that out later. That's what I want to look up. Fire Emblem screenshot GPA battle. I don't really want the battle. I wanted this, yeah. Unit status options suspend. That's kind of like the main battle menu. GPA. See if we can get some proper references. Just trying to see where they put the options menu. Maybe everything goes to the right. Yeah, okay. That's what I was looking for. And they call it weight. Yeah, I think that's better. White. Alright, so we have that. This can then, actually this can go in that margin container. And we're going to call this, like, actor actions menu. Or maybe just actions menu. And we can push it to the right, like that, and make sure it's centered vertically. Like that makes the most sense. And it's going to need a script function ready. We make sure it's hidden on start. I'm going to go ahead. We can probably just leave it for now, shall we? I want to find my menu script, drag it on there, and give it that container. Hide on focus exit. Yeah, I think so. Focus on ready, no. Is dummy, no. Focus sounds, blah, 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 blah. Modify my script. Do like signal ready to act. And it's going to set up itself. So here we go. Good, good. And up here, we're going to get that connection. I see a pattern here. This way it's all handled in one place. I'll probably move a handler. We can put all the actor stuff in one spot. So that we're going to talk to the GUI. GUI dot interactions, something like that. Focus 0. So we go there. Boom. Boom. That's fine. Can't tell if we're getting inputs there. I wonder if the world doesn't just handle that. No, I kind of like GUI stuff separate, I think. But these scripts are so redundant. We're going to change this up. So this will now be there. Change that. Do that. And then the GUI, we need all of these. I'm sure the GUI will have actual functions later, but things like this I don't care too much about. Let me just do GUI hit. This is how I want to do it. Okay, make sure everything works. Yeah, looks good so far. Actions menu. Button pressed. Next. On actions menu. Well, let's just do this. I don't know why it showed me that script. Let's get rid of that. And we have that. Let's print button.text. For now, I don't need the index. Menu script is in my GitHub, my utility. All right, cool. So we are getting it. I just can't navigate off of those. I think it's because since those buttons are disabled, it's just my menu script is not accommodating of that at this moment. Which I could fix it. It's not going to be in there. I don't know. I'm not super worried about it for now. There are more important things. The quick fix is we just don't use disabled buttons right now. That'll allow me to go through the entire thing. We do that, and no, I just don't have menu movement at all. I'm guessing. First, I want to check if I have any input events. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I should be consuming that, I think. Maybe not. Which reminds me, the grid cursor, we probably don't want that to handle it either. That's not our issue. Menus. We're not using menus right now. I don't need that. I don't know. That's a weird one. Do, 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 do. What are you focusing on? Can use the debugger. Not quite yet, but. Alright, so that'll tell us what is clicked on. I don't know if that's what we need. So that presses. And we lose the menu. Just see what's happening. That's not what I want. let me see if it's an issue with our focus neighbors. So when I press down, we should go to use item now. Oh. Alright, so that's just telling me something is clearly consuming that input. I don't know, it's been a while since I've used my menu code. Nothing in world. Okay, here's what we want to do. Take this, paste it. Disconnect that. We're going to do test. And that's fine. Good job. So it should focus on the menu. I have to make sure this is the main scene, or I could just do that. Come on now, it's not a complicated scene. Weird. And when I click on it, it disappears. I don't get that. Hide on focus exit. Maybe it's a problem with that. That's weird. I can't focus on the original button. Okay. Button focused. Let's see if we're getting there at all. That's not even focusing. Okay, we're getting somewhere. That's why. What? Did I change this? What? Very confused. If not buttons, we return empty. Well, why wouldn't buttons just be empty to begin with? Yeah, that's a stupid thing to do. No, we are pending it here. Okay. I still don't fully understand why. That looks right now. Dude, I don't know what the hell happened. Whatever, it works now, and clean that up. Anyway, so we can use all these. We don't need to print that anymore. What was that crap? So we actually need to do two things in world. When they are ready to act, and I might actually move this down because this kind of follows the order of events. We open that up, but we also need to update. We need to draw the attack range. I think we could probably just do that in movement handler. Okay. So we're going to need a new function, I think. Let's call this range. So we're going to throw all of this into, what do we call that? Set grid. That. Let's just make sure everything's fine now, which it should be. These guys are not. That's fine. We don't want to be able to select another while we're currently working on another. So maybe world gets a Boolean. Or we could just check. It's getting complex. This is going to get to the point where I'm not going to want to come in and modify this later if I need to. Well, the world is determining if we can do that. So let's try it and not selected actor. Let's see, that might break that, yeah. That, let's do returnable, and for now it's just going to be return state. Right. That's really the only case that we want to be able to deselect them. If we've moved beyond that, then we don't want to allow that. And this, let me do it here. If selected actor and selected actor. Yeah, that's fine. And not return. Selected actor, and we can't deselect when we return, otherwise we select the highlighted actor. Alright, so now I should be able to click off. It's not letting me, damn it. We could do this. I hate this code. And so that looks like. Oh, well, duh, they're enemies. That's why I can't. Okay, we can't do that. Do that first. There we go. Cool. So the thing is, we actually need to be able to select enemies. It's just their selection. The grid will be all red. So down here, we're going to get rid of that. And in the movement cursor, or movement area, We're going to check is, let's get friendly on the selected actor. And we do if this. So if not, actor is friendly or we're outside of bounds, then it's going to be red. Weird. Viid. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, I see the problem. It's going to be in range if. We're going to throw this in down here. Now we don't want to be able to move them. So I think really just do here. If selected actor friendly, we do all of that. Either way, we reset. If selected actor and selected actors friendly. There's a typo. It's getting a bit smoother, I think. Okay, that's wrong. What is the problem there? Let's go back to how we had this go. We weren't doing any kind of selected actor check. Okay. They're knitting that path. So up here, we can just check. Friendly? I don't care. Whatever. That stays the same. Now we click off of them. I think it's okay to draw that arrow. I mean, that's easy enough to get rid of. We probably don't need it, though. So when we move it, if not selected actor or selected or not selected actor dot friendly, maybe I'll just start using these. kind of like writing it out. It's more readable. So now, no arrow. Arrow and movement. We need to not be able to click away though. Think on this. And maybe for the enemies, we just show their attack range when we hover over them. Selected, where's highlighted? And if body dot not body dot target. This is so goofy that we have these kind of things. I'm gonna have to modify this later. I don't really care right now. It's really shitty to do it like that. We can clean it up later. Oh my gosh. Dude. Alright. So, yeah. No, I don't like that. So I think we want to leave this one. So when we press on it, it'll show it. Well, it's not clicking off now. We can do this selected actor, and they can deselect. We do if highlighted actor. Do that. Else. Make sure they're clear. Percent. Let's check if path. No sense in doing all of that if there's no path. All right, so we click on that, we click away, it goes away. That's kind of what I was looking for. The problem is We only want to do that if they are not friendly. Really, I shouldn't be focusing on these kind of things. That's not working. When I'm clicking off, why is that not? Maybe that's happening. This code sucks. Let's just worry about that later. All right, I think I'm going to take a break there. Kind of banging my head at the keyboard. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck with your game. I will catch you next time.